Hello everybody, Joe Clone here, back again with another LEGO Star Wars minifigure review video. Today, I will be reviewing every non-clone LEGO Star Wars minifigure in my entire LEGO Star Wars collection. I just thought I'd do this because I haven't done this in a while. I know this is a random assortment of figures and characters in front of me right now. I think how I'm going to do this is I'm going to start off with this lot right here, which is really like all of my LEGO Star Wars non-Force users, who are also not clones or battle droids. So I think I'm going to do, we got a lot of minifigures, so let's get into it. Up first, we have all of my LEGO Star Wars Mandalorian minifigures, and even they could be broken down into different groups, such as all of these Mandalorian minifigures are all of my unnamed Death Watch Mandalorian official LEGO minifigures. I've named two of them here because, as you can see, two of them look different from the others, but let's just break them down and review them. So this is just the standard Death Watch Mandalorian LEGO minifigure. And the only real difference between this one and like this one right here is this one right here doesn't have a jetpack, whereas the one we just reviewed does. Now let's get into the custom ones. And I say custom, but for this one, he really only has a red arm. I call him Bloodsport because he has the red arm, but that's really the only difference, as you can see. But the next one is very different because I Sharpied over him when I was younger. I actually found this one very recently. I don't remember what I used to call him, but under the crimson tone of his armor, he is just like the other two types of official LEGO Mandalorian Death Watch minifigures we've seen. But now let's move to the named Mandalorian minifigures in my collection. And I figure we start off with Din Djarin, aka the Mandalorian. Most popular Mandalorian ever, Boba Fett. Another very popular Mandalorian, Bo-Katan. Next we have a custom Mandalorian that I made when I was younger. He is a clone, actually, so he's a clone Mandalorian, so I always just kept him as he is. Another custom of mine, and the last LEGO Mandalorian that I have in my collection. This one I always called like evil Boba Fett, because he's just Boba Fett in a black and red color scheme, but he just looks so cool, even to this day. That actually wasn't true, because the last LEGO Mandalorian minifigure I have in my collection is this custom, which I call my custom current Boba Fett. And I think he looks so cool. I really do, with that classic helmet and jetpack on the newest black armor body. So awesome. And we also have Grogu, because he technically is a Mandalorian as well. But that is it for my Mandalorians. Let's move on to the next group. Up next, we have my Imperial Stormtroopers, and I have one Grand Moff or General or whatever she is back there. General Sloan, I think she was. But these are all my Imperial Stormtroopers, and we have some Imperial droids. Just a cool, it's a small assortment, but it's a cool assortment, and I have some really rare Stormtroopers, as you can see, because some of them are very shiny. Spoiler. But I'm a clone guy, so my Stormtrooper collection is lacking a bit, but still could break them down into groups, and they go, such as, these are all my shiny white Stormtroopers, just straight up. I really only have two variants. I have the current Stormtroopers from current sets with them in it, and I have ones from, like, the first Stormtrooper battle pack. So, definitely could see the evolution from then to now, but this is one of those OG style Stormtroopers I was just talking about. No leg printing, as you could see, and it's that OG style helmet that I still love. And this is the current style, as you can see, because it has updated printing and has leg printing and a way different dual molded helmet. Up next, we have my 3 Scout Trooper minifigures and my 1 Snow Trooper minifigure. And this is what all my Scout Troopers look like. This one just has a plastic waist cape on, but other than that, he's exactly like the one in front of us right now. This is my 1 Snow Trooper minifigure. They're actually my favorite Stormtrooper, so hopefully I build my Snow Trooper army in the future, because these minifigures are so cool. This is the OG style with the backpack molded onto the helmet, and it just looks so badass. And up next, we have my Imperial pilots and drivers. Now, honestly, the Imperial TIE pilots have always been some of my favorite Imperial troopers ever, because they just look so cool always. But let's get into it. Up next, we have my TIE Fighter pilot minifigure. He is so cool. And last but certainly not least, the Imperial V-Wing pilot. Up next, we have the valuables, the specials, the Chrome exclusive Stormtrooper minifigures, and the OG Stormtrooper Battle Pack Shadow Trooper minifigures. So cool. And these Shadow Troopers are just so cool. They were ahead of their time, truly. The Chrome Trooper. This was a Toys R Us exclusive. I have 2 of them, and I have kept them in fantastic condition somehow, even though I played with them extensively as a kid. But that chrome armor is just truly insane. You could almost see my reflection, almost see my face, guys, but not today. But it's just truly an amazing minifigure. Captain Phasma who? And again, this is General Sloan, just kind of an insignificant character for me, but cool to have just in my Imperial army, even though it's very tiny. But I guess I need a general, so she's the top dog right now. But other than that, we just have some droids left, and these are really just cool because they're unique. There's so many different astromech droids in Lego. I really could do a whole Lego of it by itself, but the printing on this one is just really, really nice. I love the silver. It's just unique. It's so cool. And I love it. It's just awesome, truly. Then we have the Gonk droid, which he could be really, it doesn't have to necessarily be Imperial, and I really have no idea what the name of this guy was, but I think he came in the either TIE Bomber or TIE Fighter set. That molded head is just awesome, but just a simple Imperial protocol droid. Very nice, very nice. But now this group is just the rest of my Lego Star Wars minifigures that are all non-clones or battle droids or Force users or any of the other two groups that we just reviewed. We have a bunch of different, awesome characters in this group, ranging from just all different eras of Star Wars, and yeah, definitely the biggest out of the three we've done, including this one. It's definitely bigger than the past two groups, I meant to say, but let's get into it. My camera is annoying me so much today, so I'm sorry if the focus is just shifting in and out. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry. Let's get into it. And these are all my droids in this group. I figured we'd get them out of the way first because they're the smallest group here, and a lot of these guys fought for the Republic, for the Rebellion, for both, and just so cool that we've gotten so many different variations of astromech droids, at least, and even protocol droids here and there, I would say, in my collection, but this one is unfortunately not an official Lego minifigure, but he's still just cool to have, just another random protocol droid in the Rebellion. But I guess I'll do a quick little review on all these guys. Let's go. It truly is their story. R2 minifigure that Lego has ever made to date. This is the current R2, and he is just fantastic because he has back printing. So nice, so cool. So happy to have so many different versions of him because he is one of my favorite characters ever. I actually forgot this medical droid too, but he is not complete as he comes, but I still have the body, which is this just one single mold. Very cool to have. But yeah, nice little cherry on top. I'm just gonna knock these four out of the way too while we're at it, because I said my astromechs, but my droids were the smallest section in this group, which is not true, because it's actually tied with this group here. These are just all my shorter legged figures that I have in this group. It's just two Ewoks from the Return of the Jedi. Sorry about that. Wow, that was a big slip. And Watto and Wald, I think his name was. I'm not a huge fan of short minifigures. My favorite one ever is Rocket because he's the GOAT, but these ones are pretty cool. In Star Wars, Watto is pretty cool. He's sort of this rubberized molded piece. I think this is the one from the 2010s. Then these two Ewoks, I don't know when they're from. They might be from 2009, but very cool and just different. This one obviously has black fur and a green hood, and this one has a skull on his head. Very awesome. I actually used to make him an evil Ewok when I was younger and was playing with all my Legos, but yeah, these are sort of the short guys. Can't forget about them, but moving on. Next, we have my minifigures, a part of the Republic Senate. We have Padme, Captain Panaka, which people are clamoring for to be remade. I don't know why. He's cool, but he's not like that memorable. And we have 2 Senate guards. Cool minifigures, unique. This is one of those Senate guards. I can't remember if he was like a captain or a commander, but it's so unique and just very cool in general. We have Captain Panaka. You can't see his face because of this ridiculous hat, but cool minifigure. Padme Amidala, who, mother of Luke and Leia Skywalker. Ever seen Star Wars? I actually hate this figure because the hair just randomly flies off for no reason. I would love if it happened on camera, but probably not. But up next, we have all my pirates and bounty hunters. And I threw the Geonosians in there because they're scumbags. I hate those bugs. But the 4 on the front are some of my favorite non-clone or Force user Star Wars minifigures ever. They're just so cool, underrated characters in Star Wars, and have awesome minifigures, and I'm so happy to have them because a lot of them are very rare and valuable. But let's get into it. First, the man himself, Cad Bane, and you actually can't see his face because of the massive hat that covers it, but honestly, I love this minifigure. It's the first Cad Bane Lego ever made in minifigure form, and he just is great. He's a badass. Love this figure. So happy that I still have him. But Cad Bane, the Geonosian soldier, I think, straight up. Maybe not. This is from the 2010s. Great printing on these minifigures, and that head mold is awesome with those wings. They're very valuable today. And this is the zombie variant for a Geonosian. So cool. One of like the only Legos zombies actually officially made in Lego. Up next, Aurora Singh. I can never say her name, so I'm sorry. Her last name is Singh. I think this is the only minifigure of her ever made. It's fantastic. It's super rare and super valuable. Let me move the weapon so you can see the leg printing there. So cool. Such a unique character to have in Lego, especially for Lego Star Wars. And so rare. Just awesome. Next we have Hondo Ohnaka, and unfortunately his torso that I originally had, that originally came with the figure, broke, so I had to give him this other one. So I'm just gonna go quick with him, but I love Hondo, one of my favorite characters from the Clone Wars and Rebels series. So cool. I think this is Vane from the Pirate Snub Fighter. They went ridiculous for the printing on both of the pirates from this set. You see what I mean? Like, look at the texture there. Like, why? For what reason on this figure? But so nice printed. This is another one of Hondo's dudes. He's also incomplete. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to these guys for me. They had a rough few years. But at least they're intact in some way. This dude, I forgot the name of, but I know he has a name. Just another cool random bounty hunter to have. This is Endo. He's known for his massive hat like Cad Bane that he also uses as a weapon. There's his face print. Very cool. Awesome minifigure. Like, this is like an obscure one that I can't believe is even in Lego form, but so happy to have him because he's actually really cool in the Clone Wars show whenever he shows up. But just awesome, straight up. Look at that hat. And last, but certainly not least, Bosk came in the same set as Sing, and this minifigure is simple but so awesome. The head mold looks sinister. They got a Trandoshan head perfect for Lego. This is just a great minifigure. I'm so happy to have him, but that is Bosk. Moving on to the Rebellion, and I honestly can't believe I have this much of Rebellion minifigures, because it's probably the army or organization or whatever in Star Wars that I like the least. Not that I don't. I like the Rebels guys, but you guys know where my loyalties lie. Clone screaming for the Republic sound effect right now, but clone till I die. But the rebels might be the most dangerous army in the entire galaxy. They destroyed 3 Death Star type bases, which is no joke, so gotta give them credit, definitely. But let's get into it. Let's start with a goat, Han Solo. I have 3 versions of him. We just did Han Solo. Naturally, up next has to be Chewbacca. I have two Chewbaccas, same version, nothing really different. And it's the OG mold style and painted Chewbacca. The best. I hate the new one. Smoothest man in the galaxy, Lando Calrissian, and I have him from his OG Home 1 minifigure version and the 2010s Skiff variant of Lando. Gotta round out the whole Falcon crew, right? Up next, Princess Leia. The version on the bottom level is the most complete classic style version that I have, or the oldest one that I have, but it's all cobbled together. It's not official, but the one in the middle is official, but it's the current Princess Leia. Or I should say the current A New Hope Princess Leia. Sorry about that. Next we have our rebel generals, captains, admirals, high-ranking officials. Boom, there we go. Let's get into it. First we have General Medine. I think that's how you say his name, from the OG Home 1 set. Next we have General Dundana from the X-Wing set, I think. Who knows? Next we have Captain Antilles. And last, but certainly not least, one of my favorite characters ever in Star Wars, Admiral Akbar. I gave him a trident because the episode in the Clone Wars series, where they fight on Mon Cala, and he's like Corporal Akbar or something, like way lower ranking, is just so great, and I love him. I hate J.J. Abrams for killing him for no reason. And our last minifigures we will talk about in this Lego Star Wars Rebellion minifigure group, we have all of the Rebellion soldiers. These dudes are the backbone of the Rebellion. I don't even know what he's called. I just call him like a Mon Cala Rebellion official. Up next we have the generic Rebel pilot. Up next we have a Rebel Snowtrooper. Up next we have an older Rebel Snowtrooper, but this one's like the most iconic Lego Rebel Snowtrooper that has ever been made. Everyone knows this dude. He's the dude with the mustache, the stud stash. But I love this guy. Oh yes, my favorite Rebel soldier, the Rebel Fleet Trooper, goated. And last but certainly not least, once again, we have another Fleet Trooper, but this is a Joe Clone Lego Custom Heavy Fleet Trooper. He just looks so badass. Or he could be a Fleet Trooper Commando. That might even be better. Look at him. He has the original Fleet Trooper torso. And don't ask me why I always do this. I always forget about the A-Wing pilot, but I actually upgraded my A-Wing because it was in shambles for so long. And I really just added this part here, and it's really just an astromech droid systems compartment, so they're not sticking out. The droid is protected on my version of the A-Wing, and I think it just looks good. It looked just crappy before, and as you can see, the droid just goes right in there. Slide them out, and boom, slide them back in. If people had to go in there, God forbid, they could, but I just think it looks cool, and obviously the A-Wing pilot, I have the wrong head, but I've just had him with this face forever. He's iconic because he has this just green Star Wars pilot torso and this special helmet. So cool. An OG Rebel pilot Lego minifigure, and I can't get him in the A-Wing, but there we go. Boom. Didn't forget him this time. Let's move on to the last group that I will be talking about today. The last group that I'm going over today are my Lego Star Wars animals, and I only have 4 of them, but they're very, very cool and just unique, and let's get into it. And I really should have said the other 3 are cool, because this is the most boring one. This is the Sarlacc, and it's just alright. I mean, if I built it up more around it, maybe it would look way cooler, but it's just so downscaled and just not how he is at all. It probably looks the best, but still just Moving on to more exciting things. And maybe I should have just only said 2 insanely cool, and although he's still cool. This is the Tauntaun. I think it's been the same. I think the only difference Tauntauns have now is the tail moves, but I can't find the other horn. I don't know where it is. I don't know why I can't find a spare one, but it's the only thing. It just annoys me that he's not complete, but they're so cool. One of the coolest Star Wars animals that Lego's made. This is like supreme Lego Star Wars big fig animals. This is the Wampa just an OG Lego Star Wars Big Fig. So cool. Actually quite valuable nowadays, like 35 bucks. Just awesome to have. Wampas are like basically Yetis in the Star Wars universe. And they're real. There actually are jungle wampas as well that are brown like Bigfoot's. Just so cool. He could actually hold a minifigure. As you could see, very awesome. I've always loved this Lego Star Wars Big Fig. One of my favorite Star Wars animals, and yeah, so happy that I have him to this day in perfect condition. But moving on to the last animal I'm talking about today. You might recognize it, you might not. The last Star Wars animal I'm talking about today is the Lego Star Wars Rathtar. Now, this is a Joe Clone custom-built Lego Star Wars Rathtar. The Rathtars, it's a hard name to say, but these are the creatures Han Solo was hauling on his freighter at the beginning of Star Wars The Force Awakens. And then they escape and start killing everybody. And honestly, that's probably one of the things from the sequel trilogy that I love the most, Rathtars. I love them. They're just little balls of like jello and teeth and tentacles, and they're just chaotic, and I love them. I love the screams they make. But there's an actual set with Rathtars in it in Lego that they made for The Force Awakens, and I just tried to copy that build for them there using these hood pieces, as you can see here. The mouth exactly the same, using these sort of net pieces, that's what I call them, right there, and on the back as well, two of them. These tentacle pieces are the same. The only thing I didn't have are the whip pieces in black, because I didn't like how they looked in brown on mine, because my Rathtar is a mainly black and red and sort of silver Rathtar. And I sort of just tried to round the back off just to give him that roundish shape so he could roll, because these things roll, like that's how they move around. Obviously the eye is there because it's where it is, and I think it looks pretty good. Like, look at it straight on. It looks like in the like impending doom, like the character's face in the movie. And I really just was testing him, like, could I just like roll him along like this? Could he just roll? And he honestly, he can't. It looks a little like, are you kidding me? But he honestly is rounded enough where he actually does sort of want to roll like a Rathtar would. As you could tell, I love these guys, but I really like what I did here with this little custom build. I really did. And as Star Wars animals go, he's pretty rare, and I can't believe there's actually an official one in a set. But finally, he's official because he could eat a minifigure. Yes. Yum, yum, yum. I wish a Rathtar ate Palpatine way ahead in the timeline, but that is it for my Star Wars animals. Roll them along. But let's go to a final lineup. And that is it, guys, for today's video. We went over all of these figures that I'm just panning over right now. And I know you're like, it's kind of like a random, like, sort of era of minifigures and just in general for me to do on this channel. Usually I'm like doing clone stuff and Marvel stuff, but I collect other Lego Star Wars minifigures. I haven't done a video on these guys in so long. Like, the last time I did a video on all of these minifigures, like some of my first videos ever on this channel, so I just figured it was a nice time to update you guys on the rest of my collection. And yeah, as you know, just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe, and I thank you for joining me on the journey. That's a review. I'll see you in the next one, and peace. Oh, and don't worry, all of this is next. It is going to be updated and reinforced. The clones aren't ready for it.